Hi everyone, it's Colleen Patrick-Goudreau from joyfulvegan.com. Welcome to Vegan POV. Today I want to address an assertion I sometimes hear people make, that it's not possible to be 100% vegan because there's no way to avoid causing harm in this world. That's one point of view. Here's my point of view. Because many people mistakenly believe that being vegan is about being perfect, they often accuse vegans of being hypocrites and often don't hesitate to point out all the areas where these vegans are indeed imperfect. Now, this pressure or criticism might not even come from others. It might come from you. Perhaps while striving to do your best, you've accidentally eaten something that was derived from an animal and you felt bad for it. Perhaps you still feel bad. When you look at the world through a vegan lens, you begin to notice animal products in things you never ever thought of before. And so you feel overwhelmed, you feel guilty, you feel judged by everyone around you for not doing it right or for not being perfect, right? And you just wait for the vegan police to come knocking on your door to take away your vegan status. Let me assuage your fears. There is no such thing as a licensed, certified vegan. And if perfection and purity is what you're trying to attain in a world that is by nature imperfect, then I'm afraid you'll be gravely disappointed. I've said this before, and I will say it again and again. Being vegan is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. And to me, that end is unconditional compassion and optimal wellness. If we forget this, then we're missing the entire point of what it means to be vegan, whether we're doing it from a health or an ethical perspective. More than that, I think that this expectation of perfection is what stops so many people from even trying to be vegan. And their fear is justified when they proudly declare to someone that they're becoming vegan, that they've become vegan, and they're met with a smug reminder that the shoes they're wearing are made of leather, or that the machines on which their peanut butter was manufactured was also used to create non-vegan food products. Whenever I've been in the situation where it seems that someone's trying to catch me, I am aware of what a great privilege and responsibility it is to help change the perception of what it means to be vegan. Unabashedly, I admit that I am far from perfect and that I'm doing my very best to make a difference where I'm able to. I remind them that to do nothing because we can't do everything makes absolutely no sense. Don't do nothing because you can't do everything. Do something, anything. But there's more to say here. And for me, it gets at the heart of what it means to be vegan and addressing this assertion. Even though there is no such thing as a certified vegan, you don't get a certificate of perfection when you decide to listen to your heart and stop eating animals. Still, that's different than saying that someone is or is not 100% vegan. It's often said with good intention, trying to get at the idea that there's no such thing as a perfect vegan. But ultimately, when someone says there's no such thing as 100% vegan, none of us are 100% vegan because there's no way to avoid causing harm. Here's what I think. Even though I'm not perfect, and being vegan is not about being perfect, I am 100% vegan because by definition, being vegan means I'm making a conscious effort to not contribute to the suffering and violence against animals where I have the power to do so. Imperfection is built in to the definition of being vegan. I live by this intention. I live by this desire, this conscious effort, right? 100%. If I lived by this intention 50%, I'd be making excuses for my behavior. I'd make compromises. I would be lazy or I would cheat. But in my intention to not hurt anyone as far as I can help it, I succeed 100%. I can safely say that I accomplish this every day. I never fail to not want to hurt anyone. I always want to not hurt anyone. I always want to make the most compassionate choices. There's never a time that I want to compromise on my ethic of intentionally avoiding causing harm. There's never a moment when I think, today maybe I will cheat on myself, my values of nonviolence and kindness, and hurt someone, right? Or I am going to cheat on those values and I'm going to consciously pay someone to torture and kill animals on my behalf. That's what it would look like to compromise my values, to not live by them 100%, to not be 100% vegan. In other words, imperfection is built into the definition of veganism. Now, that isn't to say that in this imperfect world, I don't accidentally contribute to the suffering of human or non-human animals, but that doesn't make me less vegan. It just makes me human, an imperfect human in an imperfect world, using this thing called vegan as a pretty fantastic way to reflect my values of compassion and kindness. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like what you heard, please pass it on. You can give it a thumbs up below. You can subscribe to this channel, and you can support the production of these videos by going to joyfulvegan.com. You can also find lots more detailed information about this topic and more in the 30-Day Vegan Challenge and in my podcast, Food for Thought. Until next time, for the animals, this is Colleen Patrick-Goudreau. Thanks for watching.